Hey, you guys, welcome to the Moneyfester. I'm really excited about this session. I want to start with a little clip that's going to help you to understand where we're going to go with this next segment of the Moneyfester.
And to close with this lesson on vibration, I want you to pay very close attention. And then I want you to go back and go through this recording before the next lesson, because we're going to get back into touching lightly. Okay? Now look at it. A frequency, we just said, is a level of vibration. Okay? Let me go full screen with this guy. Okay? There's an infinite number of frequencies. There is no end to it. Infinite. No beginning and no end. Okay? Now listen. Every frequency is connected to the one above and the one below. As you start really taking this into your mind and playing with it, you know what that's going to tell you? It's going to tell you everything is connected. Everything is connected. Everything. Everything. You know, the whole universe is connected. Now, it may take you a while to get that to sink in. That's okay. There they are. Every frequency is hooked up to the one above and the one below. Go talk to any engineer and they'll tell you that. Now, let's look at this. Let's say that X represents where you are. Now, I want you to think where you are. I want you to think of the amount of money you're earning. I want you to think of your relationships. I want you to think of the company that you're with, the work that you're doing. And I want you to give a serious thought. That X represents where you are. Now, you can see how you got there. Take an honest look at where you are in your life and you can see how you got there. How do we do that? Well, let's look at it this way. Each one of those levels of vibration could be referred to as a level of awareness. And as you go back with your memory and look back over your life from this point, just from this minute right now, and go back, on back to the time you were a child if you want, go back 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, last month. You're going to see the things that have happened that caused you to go and get where you are. Some of them were problems and you did it wrong and it took you back a bit. Some were great things that took you ahead. But to say that's where I am and I can see how I got there. But we're never satisfied with being where we are and we shouldn't be. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. It will say, this is where I really want to go. But you know something? As often as that idea will roll onto the screen of our consciousness, probably in a New York second we reject it. Why? Because we have absolutely no idea how to get there. It's just like wandering off into the darkness. And so we let the idea fade. It was a beautiful idea. It's a beautiful idea. But what do? We let it fade. It's not. Why? Well, that means they don't, first of all, don't even have any money. I see. Look, here's what we want to understand. There is a place. There is a place. You can hold an image in your mind. If you can get an image in your mind, that is a frequency. That is something that you have created with your mind out of formless substance, out of pure and unadulterated spirit. Just because you don't know how to get there doesn't mean you can't get there. You can get there. You've got to gain an understanding. Now think of this for a moment. The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. It doesn't matter what the state is. The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. This union results in the activation and projection of its plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances. Take it up the corner, Josh, please, or Scott, please. And now think. When you clearly understand that you are a creative being, you're God's highest form of creation, when you start to understand the principles of visualizing and the starting point, when you start to realize that all things are possible, and if you use your higher faculties and work in harmony with the law, then it's going to happen. When you believe that, great things start to happen. So I can say I'm here and I'm going there. I have no idea how I'm going to get there, but I believe I will. The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. I don't care what it is. You become one with it. This union results in the activation and projection of its plots, plans, conditions, and circumstance. And look, this new state of conscious awareness becomes your home from which you view the world. That's where you're going to live. You're going to act like the person you want to become. It's your workshop. And if you're observant, you're going to see outer reality shaping itself upon the model of your imagination. My God, it's such a beautiful concept. I just love this. I love it so much. When you move on to this higher frequency, you're going to be communicating with a world that's totally foreign to and beyond the reach of your five senses. It's totally foreign and beyond the reach of your five senses. So what's going to happen? Well, you're going to have to start communicating mentally. To move to a considerably higher frequency of thought, you must first consent. I can't do it for you. And there's some people I tell them, if I could put it in a syringe, I'd stick it in your butt and you'd get it when you weren't looking. I want everybody to have this so much. And I look at my life and I look what I accomplished, what I'm doing, and I'm loving every second of it. I want everybody to experience this. To move to a considerably higher frequency of thought, you must first consent and then adapt to the ideas and feelings the new frequency represents. See, you're going to make it. It's your decision. It's your decision. I cannot do it for you. Nobody can do it. You can't do it for anybody else. And then once you move on to that frequency, that's where you got to live. Okay? Here's the problem. At the suggestion of a move, what did we say about cybernetics and paradigms right in the beginning? At the suggestion of a move, your paradigm will instantly put up an enormous battle. I call it a royal battle. And it will continually fight you. You must take conscious control over the paradigm, remove and replace it. That's absolutely essential. So you see, when you say there is a place, remember what Steve Jobs said. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust the dots will somehow connect in the future. And you know darn well they will. That's exactly how it happens. You see, as you hold that image, this all fills in. And then you're there. And you can look back and you say, hey, you got there. Now here's the wild part of this. When you get there, you're going to realize you could have gone there.
Wow. Now, let me help you to decipher all of what we just witnessed there. Because when Bob said there is a place, this is exactly what separates everybody from the great successful people to the people which are struggling. And how to turn your monthly income or your annual income into a monthly income, you will have to start looking at there as a place. But you need to elevate your thinking to that level. That is the only way you will be able to do that. And how do we do that? Is by utilizing our mental faculties. And this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about our beautiful mental faculties, which the very first one that I want you to pay attention on is your perception. Your perception is your point of view. Okay? And if you are not having your point of view at the right place, if you are not thinking the right way,
what will happen is you will have difficulty to truly being able to see this place, to see there as a place, and to be able like to start living the right way. And your paradigm is controlling your perception. So I want to show you a little something that's going to help you to really understand how that this works. Okay. Now, your paradigm has control over many, many aspects of your life, starting with your perception, as I just mentioned. Now, if we're thinking about there as a place, for example, turning your monthly income, your annual income into a monthly income, that is a place. That is a place into that frequencies that we are looking into changing into and bringing this into our life. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change our perception. If we stick with the perception that we have right now, if we stick the way we're thinking about things right now, nothing will change. Your paradigm controls your use of time. So if there is a place, do you think that someone like Steve Jobs was working more hours in a day that you did? Maybe. But did he have more hours in a day that you did? This I know for a fact that he didn't. He had 24 hours, just the same that you have. And he needed to sleep, just the same that you do. So, but his perception about his use of time was different. He was using his time differently. So it was more productive into what he was doing. Your paradigm control your creativity. So if you are not creating, because a lot of you are thinking, well, but I'm not a creator. Musicians are creator, artists are creator, but I cannot create. You know, that's not who I am. But everybody is a creator. Everybody creates, right? So your paradigm control your creativity. Your paradigm control your effectiveness, which your effectiveness control your productivity. So are you productive? Are you effective into what you do to create the type of results that you want to create? So when we're talking about there is a place, well, based on what we know, this is not logic. There's no logic behind this. Thinking there is a place, an idea is a place, like this is not logic. Well, logic will keep you where you are right now. And your paradigm controls your ability to earn money. So for you to transform your annual income into a monthly income, it's directly linked and locked in into your paradigm. And every time that you're trying to get out from those paradigms, from that logic, from the perception that you have from your ability to earn money, you will have this box that will come and will land down and will just like lock in all of those aspects of your life. And if you let that control you, you will never get transforming your annual income into a monthly income. And I know what I'm talking about, because the first time I heard that, the first time I heard Bob saying this, I was like, yeah, like, you know, it's easy for you to say, but that's not really something that I think I can do. I mean, I would love to do it, but I don't see how it's possible. Which at the time I was earning like probably around $30,000 a year. But it was a good idea. I love this idea. I thought, like, if I can transform that, I mean, I think that would be good. And it all starts with changing and to make that decision. But as well, the proper training. If you're not trained yourself properly, well, nothing's going to change. That box will come back. It's not because you hear me talking about this once and say, okay, now I got it. Now I know what you're talking about, Mark. I'm going to change all this, that everything's going to change. You need proper training, and then that box is removed. Now, does that mean that everything changed at once? No. We're going progressively. We're going first, we're going to change our use of time. Right? Let's say that we change our paradigm on how we're utilizing our time. It will instantly affect our ability to earn money. Instantly, just like that. Because we're more efficient. Right? We're changing our paradigm on how to use our time. We automatically increase our ability to earn money. Now, let's say that we would change our perception. You're seeing things differently. You're seeing the world differently. You're having a better attitude, which all this goes through your perception. As a matter of fact, I have a good friend, which she's an expert at how to manage and change her perception on everything that she sees. And every time it says, what if I would see this differently? What if changing my annual income into a monthly income, I can do this next month? What if? Accepting the idea, getting emotionally involved with this idea. That is how that you truly start to create something different for yourself. And from the moment that you're changing your perception, your ability to earn money increases. Now, imagine that you're changing all of those. Now, not just one or two. Imagine, because you have the proper training, all of those aspects of your life are changed. What will happen? The change will be huge. And guess what? The change will be permanent. That is what makes this program, and that what makes this training so powerful. And it works every single time, no exception. This is what I absolutely love about how much that you need to study your mind, because this is where everything starts. The mind is the greatest power of all of creation. The mind is the greatest power of all of creation. But do you know how the mind works? I'm going to give you again a little view on your mind, your paradigm. Because people are looking for, they're looking for this magic pill. Like a lot of people which we've been working with, they come and they just like, yeah, like just give me that trick. Like tons of people are reaching out to me every single day over social media and say, Mark, give me a tip for this. It's like, okay, there's a tip. But nothing changes because they're not understanding how their mind works. So it's very important to look at how the mind works. In 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet was working with the healing art, and he realized that when we are working with healing, we always going to the effect of what's happening. We never go to the primary cause. And if you don't go to the primary cause, you will not have permanent effect. And that's what he realized. But we have a fundamental problem in all this, is nobody has ever seen the mind. So if ever nobody has ever seen the mind, how can we understand how to change things? And the reason for this is because we're thinking in pictures. If I say to you a car, you will have a picture of a car coming into your mind. For some of you, it might be a Hyundai. For some of you, it might be a Porsche. But there's a picture coming into your mind. And if I ask you which color, you're going to give me a color. Which color is the interior? How many doors? You will have a picture of a car coming in the forefront of your mind. If I ask you to describe your refrigerator, you will have a picture. You will have colors. Like the doors are opening, one side, the other side, top, bottom. There's a bunch of information that comes, and most of you will have to go into your fridge, in front of your fridge, mentally. You will bring yourself into your kitchen to see how your fridge is, and which side is the freezer, or is that opening top, bottom, or side. You need to go there to see it mentally, because we're thinking in pictures. But if I ask you to give me a picture of your mind, confusion comes, because you don't have a picture on how your mind looked like. And this is where this picture becomes so powerful. And I'll explain you why in a second. And then there's a couple circles, and then in that top circle, there's two parts, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. And then on the bottom part, there's the body. This is by far the most valuable information and the most valuable training, the most valuable drawing that I saw in my life. Because from the moment that I understood this, I understood myself, so I understand everybody with whom I'm with whom I'm exchanging. I'm understanding you. And that is what this drawing allows you to do. So this is why it's important to always play with that drawing and always work with it. Now, this is the difference between the people that are really making it happen and the people which are struggling. Because school gave us valuable knowledge, but school never helped us to understand and how to change our old paradigm. Therefore, we have valuable information, but we're not applying it. We don't know how to use what we already know what to do. Therefore, superior knowledge, inferior results, which cause confusion and frustration. And this is why. It's because you've been conditioned and programmed to gather information at the conscious level. You're gathering the books, reading more books, doing more courses. But are you truly applying that information? Are you truly getting the results? As a matter of fact, how do you get results? Is that through your conscious mind? Nope. Your results come from your paradigm, come from the programming that you receive since you were a child. So if you want to have different results, what do you need to do? You need a new paradigm. That is where everything starts shifting. And that, my friend, it's exactly the idea behind understanding that there is a place. There's one kingdom that you need to master, and that is your own mind. The difference between everybody which is earning a lot of money, everybody which is manifesting money just like that, is they are mastering the kingdom of their own mind. And that is where the secret sits. So I want you to truly start reflecting on how what is the inner dialogue that you have with yourself on a constant basis? I would like you to really start sharing on the chat. What is that constant chatter that you hear in your mind? Is that like, oh, I hope, like, I wish that would work. Like, what are you saying to yourself all the time that creates this confusion? Because the truth is, you already have everything in your power to get results. You already have everything to be successful. Everything is there. The information, you already have it. The technology, if you're watching this, you already have it. The ideas, you already have some ideas in your mind right here, right now, that can make you successful. But that chatter inside, it's constant. It creates confusion. It creates doubts. It creates fear. What is that chatter? I want to hear from you. I see Keela here. He's talking about affirmation, which is very good. You need to have powerful affirmation. You need to have those affirmations which are positive all the time, which is creating beauty in your mind. Because otherwise you're not going to get the results that you want. That inner dialogue is so important. And it shocks me when I hear people talking about this, like on a negative aspect all the time. They just talking negatively all the time. And I'm going to share another slides with you, because I'll share to you what is happening when you're not aligned properly. That's because that you're living into ignorance. You're into a state of ignorance. And when you are into a state of ignorance, you're not getting the results, right? Because you're having worry and doubt when you don't have what is required. When you are missing pieces, what's happening is there's worry and doubt that is coming at the conscious level, which creates the only emotion that can create, which is fear. Fear is a very destructive emotion. And we don't express fear, we are suppressing fear, which is creating anxiety in the body, right? That anxiety, as I mentioned, is suppressed, which create depression. Someone which is depressed is someone which is pissed off at himself, is mad at himself. And it's done through suppression, suppressing all of that. You know, passive aggressive is a form of depression, which turns into decay. Oh, dis-ease. You're not at ease, which creates disintegration. Now, there's a remedy to all this, and it's very, very simple. Like, I even have this in Spanish here. And the remedy is through acquiring knowledge. And how do you acquire knowledge? Through study. There's no other way. And you do that and you have a choice. This is the beauty about this, is you can choose, you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that. I'm going to choose to change that. I'm going to choose consciously to change that. And then you start understanding yourself. You start understanding what's happening. You're gaining knowledge, which this creates faith at the emotional level, at the subconscious level. Now, faith, I'm talking about here, faith based on understanding. And faith based on understanding, it's the ability to see the invisible. You can't see it, but it's there. You remember Bob was talking, there is a place. What's the difference with someone which is a visionary and someone which is considered crazy? The visionary has faith because he can see it in his mind. The ability to see the invisible, to believe in the incredible, to believe in something that is not, no, I cannot believe that. Like that's, I can't believe it. Well, the one that has faith believe in it, even though that it's, it's very hard to believe. And then they receive what the mass consider impossible. That's what faith does. It puts you into this state, and then you're feeling good, you're calm, you're in a state of well-being, which the state of well-being you want to express. You want everybody to know how good you feel, how good you are. You want to express that you're feeling good, which creates acceleration. As a matter of fact, the universe loves speed. The faster you go, the faster it wants to go. But you're always calm, you're at ease. And the ease creates, that's what the ease does. When you're at ease, when you're relaxed, when you're calm, this is the easiest way to create. It's so easy. And if you look at this, you see that there are some people, everything they touching turns to gold. Everything they touch turns to gold. And you're just like, why is that? Why is it? Because they are into this expression acceleration mode, and everything they come in contact with turns to absolute beauty. But if you let that chatter taking over, if you're not training your mind to get the results that you want, you will be in this state of decay and depression and suppression and disintegration. That is what's happening. That is the difference. This is how the Moneyfester, the one that truly makes it happen, is they're training their mind all day long. So let me go back to your mental faculties that I was talking about. I showed you perception, which your perception, if it's not well, I'm not going to say contained, but if your perception in which your point of view, how that you see the world is not reevaluated constantly, you're going to put it in a box into the paradigm. Your imagination. Your imagination is your ability to create. You can go there. There is a place. You need to use your imagination to see how there look like. And then you need to use your will to be able to connect to that and to stay connected there. Your will is your ability to focus. Focus on that goal, focus on that vision, stay connected to that vision as much as you can. Thinking about it all day long, getting emotionally involved. Your reason is your ability to think. Are you thinking properly? Or are you letting the outside condition dictate how you're thinking? You letting what's happening around you, moving you left, right, center. Your memory. Are you capable of remembering? And there's some people say, oh, I don't have a good memory, Mark. Everybody has a good memory. It's just weak. You need to train it. How do you train it? Through study. There's exercises to train your memory. But you need to train that if you want to be able to remember things. And if you want to remember and use your memory to your service, right? Because there's some situation that already happened to you, but if you don't remember those, when they are coming back again into your life, how are you gonna tackle those, right? And your intuition is when you're connecting to the source, is when you're capable of utilizing your higher faculties and utilizing, like you're having some messages which are coming, like something says, oh, turn right, or something says, call this person. Are you listening to this? Or are you listening to the chatter that says, you know, I don't know, like maybe I'm going to disturb that person if I call now. I don't know. Are you listening to the chatter, or are you listening to your intuition? Which, by the way, your intuition can be developed, designed, it goes along. So your mental faculties are what will allow you, what would permit you to be able to go there as a place, and then be able to connect the dot one after the other one as you're moving toward there when you start looking backward. And says like, this is how that we did that. As what I showed you from the video that we started this session. Guys, I know a lot of you are just expecting to get like, okay, give me that trick so I can get moving and then I'm done. But it's truly through that process that you're building those blocks and you are going to the next level, into the next level, into the next level, until the time you arrive there. And then you look back and you says, oh, now I can connect the dots. But as Bob said, we could have gone there. So then you start all over again. That is what you're realizing, right? So let me go through the chat, see like what you guys have to say. I want to hear from you. I want to hear like, what do you have to say? Like, how can I help you to really get this down and start taking some very big step? Because your mental faculties is one thing, but you need to understand that until the time that you let that box around your perception, your ability to earn money, your use of time, your productivity, your creativity, all of those things, until the time you make a decision to really start studying and having the proper training to let that box go, you will stay in that box. You will stay at the same place. And you're going to look the people around, you're going to say, how do they do that? It's because you're in the box and you don't realize that you're in the box and you're in the prison of your own making. Every day and everywhere, I'm getting better and better. Beautiful. I'm so tired of this chatter. It kept getting. Your old body of energy, there's never a lack of energy. Never. The ability to see into the future and treat the present with full expectation, to receive the good I desire, just knowing it's happening. It's absolutely right. It is already here. We are an infinite being who is connected to everything in the universe. We are a field of energy. Everything is connected. Everything. Like Bob is saying it, everything is connected. So if everything is connected, your desire, what you want, you're connected to that want too. But the goal is to elevate your frequency, to elevate your vibration to that goal. So if you want to be a millionaire, I'm just going to use this because seems that that is a common desire for a lot of people. You need to start acting like that millionaire now. You need to live like that person right here, right now, even though it doesn't feel, or it doesn't, your surrounding doesn't appear to be like it, but you need to feel like that you are already a millionaire. Go to the Four Seasons or the Ritz-Carlton, go to the bar, order a glass of water, order a beer. Yeah, but Mark, it's $10. Yeah, but you think that a millionaire is thinking this way? No, it doesn't. But if you want to experience that, if you want to feel how it looks like, you got to start putting yourself into that picture. Does that make sense? The shortcut, I am an example of this. There is no shortcut. Took a while to realize, but I understand now. It will take time, but we are on the way, absolutely. Now, let me throw you a curveball. It doesn't have to take time, but you have to understand that there's no shortcuts, and it's through your connection to your subconscious mind, to the emotion of the picture. And seeing that wish fulfilled, already manifesting. That is truly how this will take form. I hope that you understand what I just said, because that's very, very important. It's to have the feeling of the wish fulfilled that will manifest the picture that you have in your mind. It's like Will Smith said, build the wall one brick at a time. Absolutely. Start with the first brick. Don't think about, oh, I'm going to build a big, huge wall. Just start with the first brick, lay it down perfectly. Make sure that brick can sustain whatever it's throw at it. And if you're focusing on that one brick, when you put it down and you're building it properly, it will be able to support whatever you're putting on top of it. That is what your work is. I love that, Kile. Go to the Ritz-Carlton right now and go and have a beer. Sit down at the bar. You might meet the person that will launch you into the next phase of your life. You don't know. But if you are having a feeling, intuition, just mention about it. Just actually, yeah, it's a good assignment. I should do that. Well, that's probably your intuition talking to you. Because I said that, and you're the only one who picked up on it, because you said, well, it's just next door to me, so maybe I should do that. If you thought this way, you should exactly do that. That's exactly what you should do. Now, it might not feel comfortable. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not about being comfortable. It's about being in control of what you want to do. And every time that you in control of your action and you are not thinking about the reaction or the effect, and you're putting all of your attention on what you can control, you will see things will manifest, and you're going to start seeing those things looking backward. I had a conversation with a gentleman today. It was really really interesting, because the results are not there yet, but that person starts seeing how that everything that have happened have led where that person is right now. So all this was necessary to bring that person to where he is right now. So should we call this a failure? I don't think so. That everything was requisite. Everything was designed to bring you to where you currently are. And now it's about, okay, what's the next step that I can control? What's the next step that I can do to continue moving toward where I'm going? And now all of a sudden everything comes together. Then we look backward, because you can only connect the dot looking backward. And you're just like, wow, what a ride. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. That is what this will allow you to do. Any thoughts, any questions, anything I can help you to bring this lesson home and start really getting the results that you want to have, because it's really important, you guys. In order for you to get the results you want, you have to really involve yourself into that picture. Like, there is a place. How does there look like? What does it smell? How does it feel? What's the floor? How, like, are you alone there? Is there animals which are with you? Do you have a wife, a husband, a boyfriend, a girlfriend? Like, how does it look like? That picture needs to be clear. You need to live like the wish fulfilled. So your wish, your goal, your vision, what you see, it has to feel that it already happened in your life. I love this, John. John is saying, like, to truly know something, we must go there. It's not enough to just think about it. To really believe, we got to feel it and experience it. Indeed. You got to be in that picture. You got to be in the picture. Right? Beautiful. Any other comments, questions, thoughts before we wrap this up? I'm sure so many people would like to know this. What would you say to someone trying to shift from worry about the how problem to just focus on finding solution? Well, okay, let me see if I understand the question. Saying something to someone which is just focusing on the how problem to just focusing on finding solution. Okay. Like, the how is none of your business. If we understand that we are creators and that we can create on command, and we're utilizing that power that flows to and through us, and that power is always renewed every single day, renewed. So it's new energy that flows to and through us. And every thought that you're having, you're creating. And by the way, you're not just a creator, you are a co-creator. So you create with other people, which are helping you like to make that a possibility. So when you are trying to control the how, you're trying to control the energy flow, which is outside of you, which you can't. The only thing you can control is what comes to and through you, is like the action that you're taking. The control comes to what you can think, what you can feel, and the action you take. That's the control you have. How it's going to happen, none of your business. And that's where that you've got to let it happen. Let is the key word here. That is how people are manifesting their desire, because they are allowing it to come into fruition, to come into form. They did their part, they thought properly, they felt properly, and they took some actions. But the reaction, which will come from other people, will come from, I don't know, the company, government, programs, I don't know, like it can come in any type of form. But if you are focusing on what you can control, you will always get out as a winner. That makes sense? I hope this answers your question. But you gotta let go of the how and thinking about fixing problem or solution, finding solution. Think about your vision and the action you can take today. And if you're focusing on those two things, like what action can I take today with what I have as an information today to get closer to my goal? And if you're focusing on this, you will see your life's going to transform, your vision's going to explode. You will start creating like beautiful things in your life. Yeah, yes, I am always creating with thought. I'm a co-creator. My responsibility is the thought, action, not the how. Beautiful. It's exactly what it is. That is truly what you can control. Any other questions? Any thoughts? Anything that you want to address? We've got 5 minutes. Tell me, what's your thoughts? This is such a beautiful subject. I love this idea. Now, but one thing that Bob said, and go back to the video that I presented in the beginning of this session. And it says, but you must concede. And that part is very, very important, guys. That part is very accept the idea. Transforming your annual income into a monthly income. Do you accept this idea? Do you accept the idea? Because that part is the most important part. If you don't accept it, if you don't accept the idea, it will never manifest into form. So it all start with that part. All start with, okay, I accept the idea. Do I believe it? It's okay not to not believe in it, Because if you're going after a big goal, if you're going after what we call a C-type goal, you should not believe in it. But you must accept the idea. You must consent. Very important. Okay? Mark, how can we improve our intuition so we don't listen to chatter? I mean, this is true study. Like to listen to your intuition and to develop your intuition is something that you must do. I recommend meditation. It's probably like the easiest and fastest way to develop your intuition, is really taking those moments to listen what comes, and to just listen at all the chatter. I mean, like there's chatter which is coming from all over the place all the time. So what is that chatter? Like, where is it coming from? Why is it coming from? And that's what you do through meditation. You listening. You know, you can almost be like as an observer, observing what's happening. That is how, and then you're trusting what your intuition tells you. And then you can test it. So, you know, when you are with someone, just listen to what they're saying. Says, I'm just like working on my intuition. Like, may I say something? Like, yeah. Okay, and tell me if I'm wrong, right? I want to know. Like, I'm sensing this. Test it. See like what people are saying, and you're going to come to a point where that you're going to trust it more, because you will have that validation, which you don't need the validation, but it's going to help you to truly understand if you are aligned with what you're receiving. Right? So that's what I would do. Paul, through study and carefully analyzing your thoughts, there you go. Guys, I want you during this month, I want you to really work on that picture of there is a place, and really creating that beautiful picture that you are having there. Because the clearer that picture is, the more in harmony you are with this picture, the faster you're going to get there. That picture needs to be so clear that if you would give that description to someone, that person will receive the very same image in their mind that you have in yours. And only then will you be able to start living this life that you want to live. Okay? So it all starts first by seeing it in your mind, and then start living it into that physical world. And you will see, you will be able to transform your annual income into a monthly income. But it all starts with the picture of the life that you intend to live by having your annual income into a monthly income. Thank you so much for your time. I'm truly grateful that you spent some time to watch this session, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.